deal.
I did. It was a long process, and there's no playbook or script on how to handle this situation, and so you start out one way, and then you hope that it ends the way it's ended, and so I'm thankful for this process to just be able to be back on the field, and just the conversations that Buddy and AP had, and myself and AP, and me and DQ. So it's definitely been a process, but I'm really happy to be back out here with my teammates, and just very thankful to be a part of this organization and a part of this fan base that's supported me through all of this. So it's exciting.
With only a short time before the season opener, kind of where are you at physically,
Yeah.
and any concerns about just making sure you're ready for the weekend?
Yeah, I feel really good. The trainers have put a great plan for me, even since I've been out, and so I'm just looking to continue to do everything that they're asking me to do, and be prepared for week one. So one thing I've learned throughout this process, even just with the contract stuff, you got to really take things day by day. But I feel great. They're doing a great job of just getting me acclimated to football speed again. I feel like I'm in great shape, but just the reps on the grass, catching the football with a helmet on, we'll have pads on, so that's a little different. But I know the type of work that I put in to be ready, and I trust that the trainers and DQ are going to make sure I have the right reps that I need, so I'm ready for week one.
Terry, when we talked to you in July, I guess it was,
Yeah.
you said that you thought that you should be viewed as one of the top receivers in the league and be compensated accordingly.
Right.
Do you think that this contract does that for you?
I do, and it gives me the ability to continue to stay somewhere where I love, but also continue to achieve things that allows me to play at a high level, and prove that I'm worth what I signed for. And above all that, it just allows me to continue to play that game that I love in a place that I love with teammates that I care deeply about. And, I just thank God for this journey that I've been through. It's much more than a contract. I grew a lot during this process personally and in my faith, having my wife by my side as well. Just we grew during this season of pruning and sometimes uncertainty, and my faith just grew stronger, and I had confidence that God's will would be done, and I would have an opportunity to continue to play at a high level, and that's the opportunity that I have. And I know I have a lot of elite ball ahead of me. I know the work that I put in. God's blessed me to have an unbelievable amount of health and strength up until this point, and anybody in that building will tell you how much I take care of my body. So I'm going to continue to do those things at a high level, and continue to try to be everything that I can for this organization and my teammates and myself. So nobody expects more from Terry McLaurin than me, and I try to put that work in each and every day to be in that situation so I could be successful.
What did you think when there seemed to be a constant reference to your age and how old you were? You can't do anything about how old you were. So what did you think when you kept hearing, Buddy's going to be 30, so therefore we can't pay him what other people get paid?
Sure. I mean, obviously there's there's analytics, there's stats, there's history that can point to try to give people an idea of this trend or what, 30-year-old receivers, how they progress at that stage of their careers. And, fortunately enough for me, I'm only going in my 7th season. Multiple guys are maybe in that situation. They're in years 9, 10, 11 maybe. And so the benefit I had coming out of college is I played a lot of high-level football, but, I was only playing like 20 to 30 reps a play all the way down to my senior season. So I've also been blessed to, never had a surgery or any major injury that's inhibited me to continue to play at a high level. So, and then, like I said, I take care of my body at a very elite level. As much as I put work in on the field, I do it equally off the field. And so, obviously the data is the data, but I think certain people, there's, outliers. There's people who may not necessarily fit in that set of data, and only time will tell. But I feel like where things are trending and my ability just last year, just in January, I ran like a 60-yard screen for a touchdown, and my speed hasn't diminished at all. My toughness is there. If anything, my my savviness of playing receiver has grown throughout the experience of just being in the NFL. So I see the game a lot differently than I was when I was 24. And so that allows me to be a step ahead mentally. And then physically, I still play at a high level. So I have no concerns at all physically that I'll be able to continue to play at an extremely high level and continue to reach new heights. And it's just about taking it day by day. But the confidence is there. My mindset is there. And, I have the support in this building to help me get to those goals.
Terry, congratulations.
I appreciate it.
You've been prepared, to kind of go through a process like this. I'm just curious, how would you describe the emotions of it, like the way that it taxed you, and then what did you learn? You talk about learning lessons. What did you learn from this whole process?
Yeah, it was definitely tough because your second contract is different than your third contract, and just speaking just freely, like I'm very blessed to be in a situation where I've been able to get to this point in my career, going into year 7, and we all know the statistics of how many guys that may not even make it past year 3, and so I don't take this for granted at all. And so to be in a position where, there was a little bit of uncertainty, there was frustration, there was unknown, but again, my faith really helped me get through this process of just knowing that God's continually worked it out in my life since I was picked up a football. And there have been other unknowns in my life. There have been other adversities, and he's always been there for me. And so, there's a word that's faith without work is dead. And so my faith is extremely high and my work is as high. So usually when you combine those two things, you're going to have some success. But it wasn't just myself who got me through this process. Like I said, my wife was an integral person that I could just come home to, and, she's going to shoot it to me straight, and she's also going to, be there for me in comfort. And, my teammates here, I actually have just a cool story where I'm on the field and I get, it's announced. I didn't even know it was announced yet. And I go back into the weight room to lift, and I'm not kidding, 30 guys were in the weight room, giving me an ovation, cheering for me, happy for me, patting me on the back, just loving me up. And through all this entire process, that was the biggest gift that I probably got in playing football, because at the end of the day, statistics, sure, you want to have great stats. Sure, you want to, make a living for yourself and your family, and you want to win championships. And those are all important to me. But one of the most important things to me, not just now, but over the course of my football career, is what are people going to say about Terry McLaurin, the teammate? And for guys they're coming from the cafeteria, they're coming from the training room just to congratulate me and give me a hug and just say how happy they are for me. And that's what the brotherhood's about. And I'd like to hope that that's a reflection of the type of teammate they feel that I am, the person that they see every day who comes in here, works really hard, and not just on the field but off the field. And I care about them and their careers and their lives as well. I try to be as personable as I can with them. And just because I signed this contract, I'm still Terry McLaurin. I'm still the same guy. That doesn't change who I am. And so to have the respect from those guys in the locker room means everything to me. And they've been really supportive through this process. So the emotions were really high. Some days were good, some days were bad, but I try not to ride the good days as great days. I try not to ride the bad days as horrible days. It's life, and if you continue to stay focused and just be true to yourself, things tend to work out in the end.
Hey, Terry, first, congratulations.
Thank you.
Was there a point, what was the low point, and was there a point where you thought maybe it's not going to happen?
Yeah. Obviously, when you get to a point where you're here for a little over, I kind of lost track of the days, but you're here for a little while and you're not out on the practice field, and things may not progress what you would like for them to progress. And again, I don't think everybody's situation is unique and different. So I never tried to look at this person's situation as this is how I handle it. I just tried to stay true to myself, but also have the open conversations that were afforded to me, both with my agent Buddy. Buddy was having great conversations with Adam. Adam gave me the opportunity to have multiple conversations with him, DQ as well. So it was just a matter of getting on the same page. I appreciate them hearing me out and being able to express what my worth is and what I bring to the table on the field and off the field as a teammate and all those things. And in the end, they feel the exact same way. And so to be in a position where you feel like you can advocate for yourself, be educated throughout this process, was something that I took day by day to try to help get to this result. So there was definitely some unknowns. Obviously, the trade request was, something that I did, and, full transparency, I told the front office this as well. Like, that wasn't something that I was doing for just like a leverage point or just to do it or let me call some hoopla. Like, I try to be as intentional as possible. Am I perfect? No, I'm not. Are there some things that, you think about that you maybe want to handle different or do better? Sure, that's any situation. But the most important part is the communication that was very important throughout this process from start to finish. The way it ended was better than it started. So that's what it's all about. And there's a deal in place now that keeps me here that I'm extremely happy about. The front office and the coaching staff is extremely happy about. My teammates are happy about. This fan base is happy about. So that's a win-win when you look at a deal, to be honest. So everybody wins, in my opinion. And, I'm just really looking forward to continue to build my career here and hopefully leave a lasting legacy as a player, but as a teammate, as a person, and have a chance to win championships and just continue to pour into this community and this fan base, because I do love this place with all my heart, but there's also a business component, and I can never lose sight of that. But there was a lot of things that also allowed me to keep perspective, and like I said, my teammates were great with that, my wife, my family, my friends. So you got to try to keep perspective in some of these tough situations. And so yeah, there were some times where I was like, I don't know, you know what I mean? But I was never going to jump to one extreme to the other. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be here or I'm not. Like, I just really prayed every single day that the Lord ordained my steps and continue to speak to me, and I knew I would end up where I was supposed to be. So I'm definitely here, and I'm happy about it.
And was there a point for you, your body, how it takes to get ready, that you said, I've got to be on the field by this time working to be ready for the opener? Yeah,
I think the timing worked out perfectly. We have essentially about 2 weeks for me to get acclimated with, football, like your helmet on, running routes, catching passes. But to be honest, to a certain degree, it's kind of like riding a bike. Like, I was out there today. I had a lot of good reps out there. I caught passes, and I was telling Jaden, it's like riding a bike. You know what I mean? I catch a ball over my shoulder. Like, God's blessed me with a great ability to, track a football and play at a high level and have energy. So those things never run away from you per se. I wasn't just doing nothing while this contract situation was going on. There was a great ramp-up period for me. I'm in great shape. And so, I'm just looking forward to, moving on to the next step in the next journey that's ahead of us. And so I'm glad to put this behind me and be in a place that I'm extremely happy, a contract that I'm happy about, where I feel valued and appreciated from everyone. And I'm going to go out there and continue to prove why that is, because it's not just about, the contract. It's about continue to be a great person on and off the field and learning through your ups and your downs. So it's just really been I'm just happy. I'm at peace. And even before there was an ending to this, like, I've still found joy in the middle of the chaos. I still found understanding and wisdom, and that's because of God and the anchoring that I tried to have in him, and that he allowed me to continue to show who I am. So I'm just glad that that's seen and appreciated.
There was raw emotion there from you.
For sure.
We were kind of surprised, but we saw the frustration and the raw emotion. And then you go the peaks and valleys of this entire thing. So 100%. When that handshake comes and the deal is done, what goes through Terry McLaurin? It's a sense of gratitude, first and foremost, to be able to, again, continue to play in a place that I love to play, where I've been my entire career. The handshake, it was just a finality. It's like, you sow seeds, and at a certain point you get to reap a harvest. And through the ups and the downs, you get to the end, and, you have a deal with the team that you want to have a deal with. And so a deal that you're happy about, a deal you're excited to continue to play on. And, I just had an extreme sense of gratitude and peace. And to be able to celebrate that with, my family was unbelievable. And to finally continue to just be back playing football. This is what I really love to do. And
I never want anybody to mistake. This is a business as well, and all of us know that, from a front office, from the coaches to the players. And so sometimes that hits its intersection. But when you have two sides that want to get the deal done, when you have two sides who are open to communication back and forth, when you have two sides that are open to compromises on both ends, that's when deals get done. And I feel like that happened in this situation, and I'm excited to continue to be a part of this team and try to be the best leader that I can. And but y'all probably saw the videos. I was cheesing coming through here because it's like, this is home. You know what I mean? There's no place I'd rather be, but I'm happy to be on the other side of the business and have grown much deeper in my faith as well.
So being on the other side of the business, how excited are you to play football and run with Debo and see the rookie running back and learn Tunsil? Like, how exciting was that being back out there?
Man, you know, I was hidden away for a while, you know what I mean, just rehabbing and doing all the things that I had to do in the building. And so my first I was watching the film and watching reps and things like that, but you don't get a feel for it till you get out here. And that scrimmage that they had, and guys are kind of getting into it, you feel the juices flowing, you're getting close to the season. I'm like, ooh, like, you know, you feel that energy rise, because that's just who I am. I'm an ultimate competitor. I love just to be out there with the guys and to have their support where they knew, like, it wasn't a selfish thing. They know how to do what's best for me and my family, and can't handle the business side. So to have that understanding from guys who are there with you on a daily basis was unbelievable. But to go out there and you see LT, you know what I mean, at left tackle, you see everybody we have up front. You see a guy like Debo, who I have the utmost respect for. I came in the league with him, and he's just a dog, man. You know what I mean? And I don't think you can have too many dogs on a team. It's an infectious personality. It's a guy you get the ball to, and he's gonna do something with it. You're gonna feel his energy when he makes plays. And I like to think I'm a similar player. And so you got competitive guys like that. Noah Brown, who I've obviously been to college with, I know what Noah's built of. He's one of the most just adversity-driven person that I've ever been through. He's been through so many things in his life, on and off the field, and he just continues to put one foot in front of the other, hold his head up high, and you know, he carries himself at a very high level. And you know, I've been really impressed with the other receivers in our room as well. Jalen Lane, I think, is a guy who's really going to have a chance to help us, not just in the return game, his dynamic ability, but you know, some people may think he's just in the slot. And to be honest, I saw his film. He has a lot of plays out the slot, but I've watched not only preseason, I've watched practice, and, you know, he can play on the outside. His speed, his ability to get vertical, he's actually more physical at the top than people probably give him credit for, which is a key component of winning on the outside receiver. Being as an outside receiver, winning physically, because you're going to get a lot more press. And so his ability just to continue to be hungry and be a sponge and ask all the questions, I'm going to continue to try to help him as much as I can, along with Luke, Jacory, Jacoby. Chris Moore is a great guy in our room. You know, just all the guys we have in our room is amazing. And then you look on the defensive side of the ball, and you got dogs, you got vets, you got everybody. You know what I mean? We have everything we need in this locker room to really take a swing at this thing this year. And so to be out there during pre-practice warm-ups, smiling, listening to the music, catching footballs, shooting the you-know-what with the guys, like, that's what it's about, truly. Like, that is when I feel my most at peace. And, you know, the joy was definitely in my heart today. So I was just taking it all in. It was a great first day back. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. And then, you know, then it's on for week one.
And then the media demands on quarterbacks are always significant.
Yeah.
Jaden, throughout the summer, both with us locally, national media, gets asked about you all the time.
100%.
Every time, full support. Terry's my guy. We're going to get him back. What did it mean for Jaden to always support you throughout?
That's my guy. That's my dog, man. And him and I have had a lot of personal conversations throughout this process, and he was an extreme support for me since the first day. You know what I mean? All this was kind of unraveling, and to be able to have conversations with your quarterback, but somebody I consider my friend and my teammate, it really helped me. You know, he never let me forget that, you know, my presence is missed out there. He never let me forget that, you know, that I'm worth everything that I'm asking for. He never let me forget that he's got my back and he can't wait to get back out there with me was instrumental, because I'm a person that pours into a lot of people, and I've learned over my life sometimes you can't pour from an empty cup, because you just give and give and give, and unfortunately some people don't necessarily give in return. And that's not to say that like I give to get, but like everybody wants to feel reciprocation in any relationship you're in. And so to have that reciprocation that I felt from him since day one, but to see how we've grown off the field personally and on the field speaks for itself. And you're just looking forward to really getting back out there with him and helping him as much as I can. And so there's some things I know he's been working on in the offseason. There were some things I was working on in the offseason. And I like what I see on film, and our communication is amazing. So it's just about getting the reps now. Him and I are very rep-oriented and rep-driven, and so we're going to get as many as we can in over these next however many days until week 1. But to have a guy that has my back like that, you can't put into words, and so I really do appreciate him. He knows that, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for him either.
Terry, can you explain what's going on with your ankle?
Yeah, I'll just keep that between me and the front office and the training staff. But I will say, like, they did a great job of taking care of me, making sure I was right, being back on this field with this ramp-up process. And, I'm just going to continue to build from there, and just happy to be back on the grass. So it was a great ramp-up process for me to be back out here. I feel great when I'm running out there. And so the strength staff, the training staff, and, DQ and everybody was supportive of me and allowing me to get back, to this level where I'm able to hit the ground running. That's what it's all about.
Hey, good evening, Terry. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Obviously, every NFL season is incredibly competitive, right? But this year, you guys have a division game right out the gate, followed by a short week, Thursday night game, prime time in Lambeau. Big moments for you and for your teammates.
Right.
How do you – so DQ's talked about having to protect players sometimes from themselves. How do you make sure you're preparing to get rolling week 1 without overdoing it and actually setting yourself back?
Yeah, I'm definitely a competitor, so I want to try to get as many reps as I can. And obviously there is there's a difference between being in shape, football shape, and then game shape. You know what I mean? Like, I've done a whole offseason, and you go into game 1, you're like, whew, I'm winded. You know what I mean? And so that's just the process of football. But I've done everything that the training staff and the coaching staff have asked me to do since I've been here. I'm going to continue to do that, and there's a great plan in place for me to continue to ramp up so that there aren't any setbacks. There aren't any things that will hinder me from playing at a high level when it's time to say, set, go. And so the great thing about it, I'm a vet, so I know what it takes to get my body ready for practice and games. This is my first time in my career where I have the same quarterback 2 years in a row. That definitely helps, and then just in a situation where I'm in the same offense as well. You know what I mean? So the plays are very familiar. I know how to study and get ready. It's just being on the same page with Jaden, taking care of my body, getting right back in the cold tub after every practice, doing my dry needling, doing my rolling out at home, getting my massages, doing the chiropractor. Like I said, I've been blessed to do this at a high level for a very long time. And one thing that allows you to sustain success is extreme discipline. And so I've always tried to be discipline oriented. But again, at the same time, I know there's a game in a week, a little over a week. So I'm going to do everything I can to be ready for that and to play as much as I can. And I trust the plan that's going to be in front of me to help me get there.
Hey, Terry, congratulations again.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Speaking of your teammates, can you share a bit before we close out about your relationship with Bobby Wagner?
Yeah. Honestly, Bobby really helped me a lot during this process. Obviously, I've been a vet and a older guy in the locker room for a long time here. And, when you get to this stage of your career, year 7, it's hard to find other vets for you. You know what I mean? I think there's levels when you look at guys in their stages of their career. And, I'm obviously one of the vets and leaders on this team, but Bobby Wagner's done it all. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's an extreme competitor. He's elite on the field. He's been an All-Pro. The list goes on. He's an entrepreneur. He's an owner. He's all these things. He's an unbelievable teammate, and he's going to shoot it to you straight every single time. And so to have a guy that not only supported me but continued to allow me to see the big picture on how I should handle this, how I should think about this scenario. And at no point he was trying to steer me to do X, Y, or Z.
he just tried to give me all the tools that he could, all the knowledge and wisdom that he could to help me make the best informed decision and be where I'm happy. And I'm extremely happy for him and the relationship that we've developed, not just over this last month or so, but even last year. You know what I mean? I have the utmost respect for Bobby and the way he goes about his business, and I'd be very fortunate to be the kind of player that he is by the time I'm hopefully at that point in my career. You know what I mean? To hopefully I've won a Super Bowl and can be heading to the Hall of Fame, and all the guys in the locker room look up to you and respect you as a man, respect you as a person, respect you as a father. Like, that's really what it's about. And so I respect him in all those areas, and I know that he's going to continue to help me in any way that he can, and he's an open book for me to you know, throw my ideas off of. And so he makes me better. And to have that, like I said, when I'm one of the older guys on the team. I'm one of the more seasoned vets on the team, but he's a guy who's done even more and seen even more than I have. Same with Zach. Like, those are two guys that I lean on because they've done this at a high level, and they're going to be legends when they're done playing. So I hope I could be the same one day. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. What people don't know about the hoodie, like, I'll say this. The hoodie